Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's boardzy, and when have I ever lied about something being shocking? In fact, this might be one of the most shocking products to exist. This is the Ikea Mousepad. That is right, you can get this online or at any Ikea. It is their gaming mousepad. I think it was made in collaboration with Asus, so Asus might have produced this. And this thing, for $10, is a banger. And with mousepads, $30 is considered a solid price for a higher quality pad that's still on like the budget end. But this is $10 for a pad that's 36 by 44 centimeters, so it's a somewhat small size, but it's by no means like too small. You can see that's smaller than something like a Vaxi PA or a GSR SE. I believe it's around the same size as an Artisan Large, but a lot smaller than an Artisan XL. But yeah, still a solid size, not too much of an issue, especially considering the absurdly low price of this mousepad. And is this artisan level quality? No, it doesn't have stitched edges. It has a pretty just standard base, but can't really complain about the performance of the base. And the texture is what actually surprised me the most, because this is it's just a smooth mousepad. It feels a bit like a carpet almost, but it's by no means rough, and it actually has a low initial friction, which is just not what I was expecting. I was expecting a very standard control pad, if anything, but this is a speedier cloth pad. It's definitely uncoated. People are saying the surface is very similar to the Vaxi PB, which they've actually discontinued. But regardless, it's a unique feeling cloth surface. Here you can see the base. Like I said, it's just going to be made of natural rubber, but the performance of it's fine. The mousepad itself is not very stiff. I'll do a lighter test. First lighter test with the new camera. Yeah, it's a pretty firm mousepad. I meant to say that the pad does feel stiff, as you saw in the lighter test. There just wasn't a whole lot of plush, and I don't think that's exactly a bad thing, especially if that's what you prefer. Like all mousepads, the experience will vary based on the skates you use, but really on smooth PTFE skates, that's where this mousepad was the best, and it just has a very similar feeling initial and dynamic friction. What I mean by that is the force it takes to get the mouse to move initially and the force it takes to like keep it moving are similar. Definitely as you move it more and put in more pressure, the glide will slow down. That's just how any cloth pad is going to work, basically. But the Ikea pad seems remarkably consistent so far in a few days of testing. I'm not gonna lie, I've not given this the long-term treatment. I gave it a few days to break in though, and it hasn't had any consistency issues yet. But yeah, honestly, this mousepad has a somewhat cult-like following, and for good reason. I originally saw Good Enough Tech's reviews. He asked me to try it out. I finally got around to doing it, and this really does seem like a QCK killer. I have this package because I had to buy some extras, of course, and it comes flat. I'm not sure what it's like if you order it online, but yeah, they just have them stacked flat. So obviously out of the box, the quality is going to be perfect. It's perfectly flat, which helps a lot with the base and just overall consistency. Because even though this foam isn't the highest quality, you can see it's uneven. I still haven't had any issues with humidity or consistency due to that yet. And this really just exceeded my expectations of a $10 mousepad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I doubt it will be the case for many people, but you could prefer this over the Artisan Zero. And just considering the price of $10 for this versus like over $60 for an Artisan pad, it's pretty crazy. So if you're on a budget just looking for a solid cloth pad, something a bit better, a bit speedier than the QCK, I think this is perfect. But even if you're just interested in mousepads and want to try something out, this will shock you, I guarantee it, because I was not expecting very much, but it definitely delivered. One thing with the lack of stitched edges, I'm not going to say this feels sharp, but the edges definitely don't feel premium. But I understand just the amount of pads they're producing. They can't really have all of them stitched because, I mean, these are available in Ikea worldwide. You can definitely feel the edges when you're making vertical movements on your forearm, so do keep that in mind. Like I said, it's not going to be the artisan level quality, but performance-wise, this really holds up to any $30 cloth pad I can think of. There aren't any glaring issues with the mousepad, and for the price of $10, you really can't go wrong with it. So if you have an Ikea near you, and I don't know, maybe you're furnishing a home, or maybe you just want the mousepad, definitely check it out. Or you could order it online, but that's not the true IKEA mousepad experience. I know this was not the most in-depth I've ever gone on a black square review, but there's just really, this isn't a game-changing mousepad, like in terms of the features. It's really just the price that stands out about it. So, yeah, this is going to perform similarly to a lot of other control pads, but it just does have slightly lower initial friction and honestly just a great smooth feeling. It's a comfortable pad, and all the time I've used it, I'm not gonna really main the pad obviously, but I mean, I just think it's a solid option for people on a budget. But that's going to be all for the IKEA pad review. If you have any other questions, let me know. But yeah, I honestly thought this was too good to be true, and then it turns out it's actually true. Who'da thunk? But yeah, like and sub if you enjoyed. Peace.